The man they hired was not the man in the photo. In 2024, an American cybersecurity company hired a software engineer. He interviewed on video 4 separate times. His background check came back clean. On his first day they shipped him a brand new laptop. Within hours of it being switched on, it began quietly loading malicious software. The man they hired was not the man in the photograph. He was not in the state he claimed to live in. And he was not working for himself. He was working for North Korea. And he was one of thousands. This is Cyber Files. The company was no B4. Their actual business is training other companies to spot deception. They published this story about themselves, which is why we can tell it in detail. The candidate applied for a role on an internal engineering team. He passed 4 video interviews with real people, who saw a real face on the call. The photograph on his application was a stock image, edited with artificial intelligence until it resembled the person on the screen. The identity behind him was completely real. It belonged to an American whose details had been stolen. A background check looks for a real person, and it found one. Before starting, the new hire asked for his company laptop to be delivered to an address that was not his home. That request is common enough that almost nobody flags it. The laptop arrived. It was switched on. At 5 minutes to 10 at night, the company's security software began reporting malicious files being loaded onto it. The security team called him. He said he was fixing a router problem. 25 minutes later he stopped responding, and they cut the machine off the network. Nothing was stolen. That is the rare part. Because what happened there was not one clever con. It is an industry, and it is run by a government. North Korea is one of the most heavily sanctioned states on earth. It cannot sell much, and it cannot move money through normal banks. So it exports the one product that sanctions struggle to stop. Labor. Specifically, skilled software developers. Thousands of North Korean technology workers are sent abroad, mostly into China and Russia, and set to work applying for remote jobs in the West. They are genuinely capable. They write working code, fix real bugs, sit in daily meetings, and collect performance reviews from managers who are pleased with them. United Nations experts have estimated the program earns between $250 million and $600 million every year. American agencies say that money flows back to the state, and helps pay for its weapons programs. The workers keep very little of it. Reporting describes quotas, constant supervision, and most of the salary taken before it ever reaches them. The United States offers rewards of up to $5 million for information on these networks. That is what payroll fraud looks like once it becomes foreign policy. The method is not sophisticated in the way people expect. There is no zero-day exploit here. There is a curriculum vitae. First, an identity. Stolen from a real American, or bought from one, sometimes with that person's full knowledge. Then a face. Generated or altered by artificial intelligence. Good enough for a profile picture, and good enough for a webcam. Then a resume, tuned precisely to whatever the advert asks for, and references who answer the phone and say the right things. They apply at enormous scale. Freelance platforms, staffing agencies, direct applications, and increasingly one worker holding several jobs at the same time. One person can carry 3 or 4 full-time salaries, because nobody at any of those companies will ever meet them. The interviews are the only real obstacle, and they are handled. Camera trouble on the day. A reluctance to switch video on. Answers arriving a second late, as though somebody nearby is feeding them. Once hired, the problem becomes physical. The company will insist on posting a laptop to an address inside the country. And the worker is not inside the country. So the address is real. The house is real. And the person living in it is being paid to receive that laptop and keep quiet about it. The industry has a name for that house. A laptop farm. On a quiet residential street in Litchfield Park, Arizona, a woman named Christina Marie Chapman ran one of them. Company laptops arrived at her door by courier. She unboxed them, plugged them in, and left them running on shelves. Each machine was fitted with remote access hardware, so that somebody on the other side of the world could operate it exactly as if they were sitting in front of it. To the employer, everything looked correct. The laptop was in Arizona. The login came from Arizona. The internet address was American. Prosecutors said she hosted more than 90 company laptops inside that house. She handled the paperwork too. Payroll forms filed under stolen identities, and wages collected and passed onward. The Justice Department said the scheme reached more than 300 American companies, including Fortune 500 names, and generated over $17 million. 68 Americans had their identities used. Most of them had no idea they were employed anywhere. She also shipped laptops overseas, including toward a Chinese city that sits on the North Korean border. None of this required breaking into anything. Every single door was opened by a human resources department. It is easy to hear all this and file it under fraud. A salary paid to the wrong person. But consider what a software engineer is handed on their first morning. Access to source code. Access to production systems. Access to customer data. Access to the tools that build the software other companies then install. An insider who is paid to be there does not have to break in. They trip no alarms, because everything they touch, they are authorized to touch. Researchers who track this program say they have worked hundreds of these cases. One security firm calls the group famous Columna. And around 2024, the behavior changed. When these workers were discovered and dismissed, some of them stopped leaving quietly. They took the source code out with them, and then demanded payment not to publish it. The fake employee had become the extortionist, using access the company itself had granted him on day one. In June 2025, the United States moved against the infrastructure instead of the workers. Agents searched 29 known or suspected laptop farms across 16 states. They seized more than 200 computers, 29 financial accounts, and 21 fraudulent websites built to make the workers look like real contractors. Indictments followed, and several Americans were charged for doing what Chapman had done. Running the room full of laptops. That is the strange shape of this crime. The people arrested in America are almost never the people writing the code. They are the ones who answered an advert offering a few $1,000s a month to receive packages and keep some computers plugged in. Some of them believed it was legitimate work. Many of them simply did not ask. The workers themselves are in China, in Russia, in North Korea. They are beyond the reach of any warrant. On the 24th of July 2025, Christina Chapman was sentenced in federal court. 8.5 years in prison. 102 months. 3 years of supervised release afterwards, and orders to hand over several $100,000. She had pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud, to aggravated identity theft, and to conspiracy to launder money. It is the heaviest sentence handed down so far in an American case of this kind. The laptops in her house are gone. The program those laptops were serving is not. New farms open. New identities are bought. The job applications never stopped arriving. There is another set of victims in this story, and not one of them ever worked anywhere. When a stolen identity is used to hold a salaried job, the tax authorities record that income against the real person's name. So an American who has never heard of the company can open a letter demanding tax on wages they never earned. Straightening that out takes months of paperwork, letters and phone calls, to undo a crime they had no part in. 68 people had their identities used in the Arizona case alone. Most of them found out from investigators. For the employers, the discovery is quieter and more embarrassing. A trusted colleague of 8 months simply stops being a person. So the industry began sharing the warning signs, and they are strikingly mundane. A candidate who will not switch the camera on, or whose camera fails at the same moment in every single call. A delivery address that does not match the address on the identity documents, or that turns out to be a mail forwarding business. Bank details changed shortly after hiring. A request to move the salary to a different account, or onto a payment platform. Answers that arrive a beat too late. Or a voice that does not match the place the person says they grew up in. None of that is a technical control. It is an interview, conducted carefully, by somebody who is allowed to say no. The uncomfortable part of this story is how ordinary the failure is. No firewall was defeated. No password was cracked. No software was exploited. A company advertised a job. Somebody applied. Everything that followed was paperwork. The defenses that actually work here are unglamorous. Verify the human being. Match the delivery address to the person. Notice when the camera is always broken. Because the most valuable thing any company owns is access. And most companies still hand it out through a form. This was Cyber Files. Real hacks. Real crimes. Real damage.